Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with your boy. Basically just talking about different things. This was an article like way back in August, like when the bubble was first starting. And it was a thing interesting. It's from Jimmy Buckets. Basically, mess with one of my guys, you have to deal with me. Jimmy Butler with a clear message to Chris Paul. One of your best guys usually isn't the enforcer. Teams have an Oakley or Rodman to retaliate. That's not the case in Miami. You mess with someone, Jimmy Butler will get you right back. Chris Paul learned that night. Chris Paul may be the point guard, but is also a bulldog in addition to perfect passes and clutch scoring. Paul will go for your juggler mentally. Every second you are matched up with him, CP3 is trying to get under your skin, make you react and lose focus. Last night he had an episode with Duncan Robinson that didn't sit well with Butler. If you look at it from Paul's perspective, his plan worked. Butler got a personal foul, making a point purely pragmatically. The best response is not to respond, but Butler didn't make a mistake. This wasn't an important game, and that personal foul was well spent making a statement that builds equity with his teammates and establishes a championship mindset. As turbulent as his locker room presence was in Chicago and Minnesota, you could tell the Sixers miss Butler. It's this kind of attitude that Philly needs, primarily internally. Someone to start the awkward conversation and face the music. Sometimes it turns out poorly. Minnesota, other times it's a perfect fit Miami. That's why Butler left Philly and why Miami is the perfect place for him. From Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra down the Heat way fits perfectly with the Butler's mentality. Goes to show how important it is for players to land in the right environment, both in terms of a basketball fit and a mindset fit. Now, this story was done back in August 13th, and I just wanted to, give some light to what Jimmy Butler is. I mean, the NBA doesn't promote him, and they finally started promoting him on some commercials, but they don't promote this guy. Jimmy Butler has had a championship mindset since he's been in the league. He's worked hard. He's made his teammates better. He bought all of them hoops so they can practice their shot. And that's what he did. And he's a max player, but he plays like a team guy. That he doesn't care if he gets this many points or that many points. He wants to win. Kobe had this mindset. He didn't care how many points he scored. Jordan had this mindset. A lot of guys had this mindset to want to win and incorporate their team in a lot of things. Me and my brother were talking about a long time ago if Chris Paul and Jimmy Butler would be on the team, and I said I don't think it would work because Chris Paul would have one time to bark at Jimmy the wrong way and Jimmy knocking him the fuck out. And that's straight up. And I think Carcino for Life says something like that. But the thing I love about Jimmy Butler is he's a guy that you root for. He's the underdog. He doesn't get any respect. No one's ever given him love. People just now finding out about him. And I've been known about this guy since Chicago. People were saying that he was a cancer in Minnesota. He was a cancer, and he wasn't. He wasn't a cancer. Jimmy Butler just has that mindset of, look, man, I'm trying to win. If you ain't trying to win, then get the hell out my way. And that's just the facts of how he is. He doesn't come and try to be an a-hole or try to treat anybody differently. He's down to earth. He tries to treat everybody with a level of respect. And I think that was the problem with him and the places he was at, because the places that the places that he was at and everything, those guys weren't mentally tough. They basically weren't tough enough to handle the pressures and handle his toughness of leadership. Um, Cat was soft. Wiggins was just trash. Ben Simmons was trash, and him and Joel Embiid were bumping heads. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think they're gonna make it this year. Philly's not gonna make it this year. But Buckets has really been playing good. Like, they've always been the underdog. The only time they weren't the underdog was against the Pacers. Everyone knew they would beat the Pacers, and then their next round with the Bucks, everyone thought they would lose to the Bucks. Everyone thought they would lose to the Celtics, and I just kept telling people, man, there's something different about this team now. Can they pull off the upset and beat the Brownies? I don't think they will, because the league already losing a lot of money, so they have to try to let LeBron win to see what's going on. But the ratings are still going to be bad. They're going to still try to keep pushing the Brownies where you don't need to. You got a league full of players, man. You got the Bradley Bills, you got the Kawhis, you got the Paul Georges, the KDs, the Kyrie Irving, the Boston Celtics shows you they got a young nucleus that could be in contention every year. Jason Tatum is, I think, 22, 23. Jalen Brown's around the same age. He's 24, 25. And you got Kimba. You got Marcus Smart. You got a team there. You know, you got guys in Orlando who's good. Vucevic could play. You don't promote him. Y'all don't promote the guys who stay with their teams or who stars on their team. You don't give them no promotion. And this is crazy because this person I talked to, they was like, man, I didn't know about Jimmy Butler. I mean, I thought he still was in Philly. You know, nobody knew. The average fan's not gonna know. The average fan, you know, they don't understand or identify with certain players. They only identify with one player, and that's LeBron. But Jimmy Butler, man, has been great. Has done the things that are necessary for a leader to do. He's he basically tells his guys, I got this. He takes ownership. He makes no excuses. Unlike that dude that's rocking that 23 in LA, he doesn't make any excuses. And Jimmy is a tough defender. He's a tough defender. Um, and how he stuck LeBron James was just classic. He did his thing. To me, I'm rooting for him to win. I just don't think they have enough firepower. I think Bam coming back. If Bam doesn't come back, it's going to be hard for them to win. Well, the only way they could win is if Jimmy Buckets just goes off. Like, he just goes off. He handles his business. He becomes aggressive, and that's all they need. But that mindset back in August with Chris Paul throwing the ball at his teammate and then he knocking Chris Paul on his ass, it showed you the mindset of Jimmy. You mess with one of my teammates, you mess with me. And that's the facts. And that's the guy I want in my foxhole every day, every week, whenever the game is. That's why I want in my foxhole, because I know he'll come out on the other end unscathed. He'll come out on the other end, a little bit of scratches and unscathed, like from the pressure. He still feels like he's the best. He feels like he could beat anybody. And that's the mindset that your leader has to have, you know. And that's the thing I love about Jimmy Buckets, man. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler did his thing, and he just continues to show people that he's that guy. And I love his defense. I love his passing. For him to get that 40-point triple double was a big thing. And I've been a fan of Jimmy Butler, man. Since I seen him in Chicago with the low cut. My brother Kano, he put me on to Jimmy Butler. And ever since then, man, I just been a huge fan of his. He's a hard worker. He wasn't the most talented. That's how I felt. I could relate to that. I wasn't the most talented in college football, but I worked hard, and I worked hard. Unfortunately, I hurt my knee, tore my knee, 2/3 of my knee. I was one away from being a McGahee, but I just thank God, I had a chance to play. I just wish I had better teammates, but it is what it is. You're not gonna get dealt the cards that you want. You have to play with the cards you got. So I'm just happy, to watch him and to continue to support him, man. I love him to death, man. He's a good dude. My homegirl Tracy, shout out to her, and my dog Cliff, on the mark, baby. All day, every day, on the mark with them, Tracy and Cliff. They're every Monday. And Tracy played basketball with him, and she told me some stories about him in Houston, about what he went through, how he was struggling. He was sleeping here and there, and then he was playing basketball every day. That was his escape. And to see a Jimmy Butler come up from absolutely nothing, he came up worse than LeBron and everybody, KD, everyone. This guy came up in foster homes, living on the street. His mom kicking him out, then bringing him back, then kicking him out. Man, he had it hard, and for him to be in this position is just beautiful, and I'm happy for him. And I hope he wins a ring one day. I hope he wins a ring this year. But everything happens, everything happens for a reason and stuff. So we'll see, man. But I just wanted to give a little story about Jimmy Buckets, man, aka Miami Buckets. I just wanted you guys to hear something, because he's a good dude. He you know I just wish he gets some more credit than what he got. And I just wish I'm just glad he's finally being recognized as a great teammate and not a bad teammate, when in reality the guys he played with were soft as shit and soft as putty. So thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to everyone. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming content. If you want to donate to the page, cash at me at welcome to HDTV. That's the word welcome, then the number 2, then HDIITV. And shoot, we out, man. Live.